Okay. All right. Thank you all so much for coming to the April 23rd ISSDA speech and thank you all for coming to the April 23rd ISSDA competition. So currently we have our judge, who is Kevin Jin. He will be judging these speeches for today, as well as we can have Teresa and Kevin judge as a panel. That could, is that what you're saying? Yeah, okay. Sorry. There are people who are like messaging me in the chat. But yeah, so we have two judges for today, Kevin Jin and Teresa Feng. They are both part of our ISSDA executive board. So if both of you could say hi and introduce yourselves a little bit, turn on your camera, talk to some of the participants. Teresa.
Hi, my name is Teresa, and I'm a sophomore in high school, and I'm 15, and I'm the education manager at ISSDA, and I'm so excited to be judging you guys today with Kevin. So I'm going to talk a little bit about my debate experience. I've been debating for 4 years with a private debate league and club debate, which is kind of similar to public forum, except it's like dumbed down a lot and isn't as focused on technique. I'm also on a speech team for the past 2 years with the same company, and I've competed in original oratory, and I've made it to double octafinals at Harvard competition, and also I made it final top 10 this year at Palm Classic, also formerly known as the Stanford Tournament. So I'm so excited to be judging and meeting all of you guys today, and yeah.
Thank you. Kevin.
Cool. Okay, so I'm Kevin. I'm a sophomore in high school, and I'm the vice president for ISSDA. And I've been doing PF for 3 years and LD for a year, and my team just won the Ohio State title in LD. So, yeah, also very happy to judge.
All right, thank you for introducing yourselves, both of you. So right now for the agenda for today's competition, we will have the elementary speakers first, and then the middle school and high school speakers first. I did send the agenda out in an email beforehand, but if anybody was unable to view it, I have it in front of me as well. So first up for the elementary school speakers, we have Lucas Koo. Lucas, are you here?
Yes.
Okay. So you can begin whenever you're ready to. Just make sure you have your camera on and your microphone on.
Okay.
But yes, whenever you're ready.
How should the U.S. educational system be reformed to offer every child a high-quality K-12 experience? Most would agree that every child has the right to a quality education. However, not all kids living in the United States are getting as good as an education as they could. This is a shame because we kids deserve the best chance possible to grow into successful adults. For this reason, the U.S. educational system should definitely be reformed to offer every child a high-quality K-12 experience. The best ways to make this happen are simple. School lunches should be improved. Recess should be extended, and teachers should earn more. First, let's talk about my favorite class, lunch. Now I have a confession to make. I love nachos, so I was excited last week when I found out that nachos were being served at school. But then I did a little bit of reading. According to UC Davis College, kids eat between 35% and 40% of their daily calories at school. That's close to half of their calories. Obviously, it makes sense that these calories should be healthy ones. Therefore, schools should make sure that the lunches offered to kids should not only taste good, but make us feel good too. Of course, I'm not crazy. A little junk food is okay now and again, but not too much. Second, let's address recess. Many think that recess is all just fun and play, but it has some serious benefits. According to a Stanford University study, recess offers opportunities for children to learn and enhance communication and negotiation skills, cooperation, sharing, problem solving, perseverance, self-control, and conflict resolution. If the recess is too short, then kids won't have any fun and won't return to class fresh. which means they won't learn as much. With the longer recess, kids get more time to clear their minds and finally relax after a long time in class. It isn't fair to kids if they have to focus in class for nearly 8 full hours with barely any time to refresh themselves. Third, let's talk about our teachers. Shh, but do it quietly. Did you know that according to weareteachers.com, higher pay for teachers mean better performing students? It's true. In one study, a 10% increase in teachers' pay was estimated to produce a 5 to 10% increase in students' performance. Teachers' pay also have long-term benefits for students. The higher an increase in the pay for the teacher, the better the teacher is. Of course, the best teachers won't work for a low pay, so a school that doesn't pay well gets the least qualified teachers. Yikes. Now I know what you're thinking. Wouldn't these changes cost more money? Yes, but it's worth it because it helps your children get better at learning and helps them get smarter. Kids who eat healthier food learn more. Kids who balance work and play learn more. And when teachers get better pay, kids learn more. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Next up, we have Jerry's song. Jerry, is he in the meeting? Okay, if he isn't in the meeting currently, then we can come back to him if he's able to arrive. Otherwise, we will be skipping him. Eddie Panwang, you are up next.
Was lockdown 2 years ago helpful or was it just unnecessary? While the lockdown decreased cases, masks were overall better because they decreased cases by about 50 to 60% and allowed people to have social activities. The lockdown was overall not worth it because of three main reasons. Many people don't believe it was effective as it should have been, and it could have been outclassed. It could have been outclassed, like said before, by masks and face coverings, and it was just overall boring. First of all, it wasn't very effective. According to Our World and data and the New York Times, from 2020 to now, 80.4 million people have gotten COVID, and almost 1 million people have died from it. The lockdown may have helped these numbers, but facial coverings probably beat them anyway by keeping you safe while you still being able to go outside and have fun. Well, with all that free time, you can make time for new hobbies, right? While that is true, the majority of people think that quarantine was not only unenjoyable, but simply just boring, with good reason. People feel lonely after not seeing their friends and family for months, so it's difficult for them. Lastly, there are really much better and more convenient solutions to this disease. Face masks and other face coverings prove to lower not only COVID cases, but also the common cold and other illnesses, while still letting people interact with friends and family. With all these reasons why quarantine 2 years ago was bad and not worth it, and even some convenient alternatives to the solution, hopefully people see why it's not actually the best step to take in a big crisis such as COVID-19.
All right, thank you. Albert, whenever you're ready, you can turn on your camera and begin.
Today I just came to watch.
Oh, you signed up though. I have you registered here as a participant.
Well, sorry.
Okay, if you don't have a speech prepared, that's fine. We'll move on then. Okay, next up, we have Angelina. Angelina, are you here? I think we're missing quite a few people today. Okay, I don't see her in the participants section. If Angelina isn't here, we'll move on. Eileen. Okay, I don't know if Eileen is here either. William.
Okay. So I can go whenever I'm ready, right?
Yes.
Hello, everyone. Have you ever encountered someone trash talking you or leaving bad comments on your social media before? It's very frustrating to deal with, but are there any ways to counter hate speech? That's my topic tonight. But what is hate speech? According to unesco.com, there is no internationally accepted definition of the term hate speech. In my own understanding, it's any form of insult, depreciation of someone or her comments, and its goal is to make the opposite feel bad. Let me give you a real life example how bad things can end up if you don't handle hate speech well on social media. According to a news article on news.com, a man called Matthew Thorne got allegedly killed by a 23-year-old male because of an online game dispute prior to the killing. The cause of this dispute was because Matthew Thorne was supposedly saying very nasty things on social media to the killer a few days before the incident. As you can see in this example, not dealing with hate speech on social media well could lead to serious consequences. So how can we counter hate speech on social media? According to imix.com, there are 5 steps to how to counter hate speech on social media. The first step is to recognize the troll. Remember his username. Look into his or her profile and look at what's the troll's own habit and try to avoid the troll. The second step is mute them, block them, and then report them, letting the app or the system punish them. Try to report them as much as possible so the system can block them sooner. The third step is learn how to deal with it and respond. I play a lot of games and I encounter trolls on a daily basis. Always remember, never feed the trolls. When you talk back to them, they got your attention and they will talk more nasty stuff and hate speech. And if you don't want that, and don't swear back, or there's no difference between you and the troll. The fourth step is just letting your friend help and report the troll as well. So you guys can work together to get the troll off the internet faster. The last step is just to relax, take it as a joke, and don't let it bring you down. If needed, just go outside and get distracted and have a break. Yeah, that's all. Thank you.
All right, thank you. I will now call for anybody who wasn't able to show up. So Jerry, Song, Angelina, or Eileen. If any of you three are currently in the meeting, it would be wonderful if you could let us know. Even if you don't have a speech prepared, it would be preferable if we knew that you were here. Otherwise, I think that I will open a breakout room for Teresa and Kevin, our judges, and let them come to a decision. All right, our judges are in our breakout room and we will have a break time during this while they are conversing and discussing. Okay, are the judges back in the main room? I think I closed the rooms, but yeah, okay. It'll close in 30 seconds. But basically, once the judges come back, we'll have them give you guys a little bit of feedback. And then we will start. They will, at the end, they will announce who they picked as the winner. But yes, we will just wait for them to appear back in the main room. Okay, so basically I just gave them a brief overview of what's gonna happen. You guys are gonna give them some feedback. Just brief, you don't have to make it too long on each of the each participant's speech, and then at the end you can announce who you picked as the winner.
All right, Teresa, you can go first.
Okay, so I'm just gonna just give comments based on the order that everyone went in. So the very first person that presented was Lucas. So I thought the topic was really interesting about kids and their education. I like the structure of your speech. It was very organized. You gave me a 1, 2, 3, like great signposting. It was organized. I wasn't confused about what argument you were on. So now, like the actual delivery part of your speech, I felt like you were like kind of reading off, but compared to the other speakers I heard, you had a little bit more energy and you seemed like you had a little more enthusiasm. And there was like a lack of gestures, like hand gesturing, because like you were sitting down. But maybe next time you can like throw in some hand gestures at important words, or first, let's talk about this. Second, like something to add a little more just emphasis on some words to make it a little bit better. But I think you did a really good job. And I know you have like braces, so I know sometimes like the words slur a little bit. So I would like try to practice like enunciating so my words become clearer, just so like I know what you're saying, because so at some points it was hard to hear because your braces were kind of like making it hard for you to say certain words. But I think you did a really good job, especially since like you're so young and like only in elementary school or middle school. That's crazy. So definitely be proud of yourself, and there's just like small areas of improvement that you can do better on. So Kevin, now you can give comments on Lucas.
All right. So Lucas, first thing I noticed is that you did plenty of research, which I really like. But just always keep in mind that speech isn't only your content but also your presentation, which means you can have a very well written speech, but then you also have to present it in a way that's going to be like, I guess, appealing to your audience. And I feel like Teresa said, maybe some more eye contact, some less looking directly at a computer, some more hand gestures, some clear pronunciation and everything like that. But overall, I feel like you did a very good job and did a lot of research, and yeah, proud, really proud of you. Cool. Let's move on.
Okay, so the second person that went was Eddie. So just a few things. I thought the delivery was a little bit flat. Like it didn't have as much emotion or energy. It kind of felt like I'm gonna just read this, I get through it. It almost was like kind of like, when like the teacher calls on you and like you have to read like a text in class and you don't really care. So you're just like kind of zoom through it. There was like a lack of energy for me. So I would have liked to have like a little more passion, a little more energy when you were saying what you were saying. You had like a very interesting topic that was very relevant, but I just wish you put a little more like you in it, like a little more oomph, like a little more energy. And yeah, it felt like you were just reading off the paper. So a little more enthusiasm would have been better, but I liked the content and the topic of your speech.
Yeah. Okay, so moving on, Eddie, I feel like you could have done a little bit more research because, for Lucas, he cited research from Stanford, and then he also cited his own experiences and everything, and then he also cited the research in which, he stated that teachers would perform better in class if they had higher pay, and I feel like that's something that you really could have used some more research and some more evidence, because I feel like everything that I heard you say were more personal, which I get. Being personal is a great way to build a connection between you and your audience, but just some more research would be great.
Okay, so the last person that went was William. So for William, I could like only see your eyes. So I would next time for like the next competition, like make your camera a little bit higher. Like before it was like this kind of. So instead like kind of lower it and adjust it so I can like kind of like a little more enthusiasm, a little more energy, because or like hand gestures just to like liven it up a little bit so it isn't just reading, because a speech isn't just about writing the speech, it's also about delivering it well. So a little more like personality would have been better. But I like your hook of your speech, like how many times have you seen hate speech, like judge, how many times have you that kind of like engaging. I really like that kind of hook. And I like your speech topic about hate speech. That's very relevant because a lot of people use social media. So that was an interesting topic. Your speech was also organized, like you gave me a first, second. So it was a very nice organized speech. I knew like what you were talking about. I wasn't like confused during your speech. Once again, my only criticism would be the camera so I can see your face, and also just like your delivery with like a little more energy. But other than that, I liked your speech.
Yeah, and moving on for William, I feel like also I like your topic. It's a very unique topic, and which is good because you always want to be unique. But then the thing I would say is that first of all, I would agree with Teresa, maybe some more connection with your audience, which is your judges, which is me and Teresa. Look up from your computer, look us in the eyes, or maybe look us in the eyes through Zoom or something like that. And like I said before, speech isn't only your content, it's most of the times 30% content, 70% presentation. So always keep in mind that you should also have good presentation on top of the content. But overall, still good job, and thank you for coming today. All right. Teresa, you want to do the honor of announcing winner?
Sure. So after looking at all the speeches and all the comments, we decided that the winner was Lucas because he had the best delivery out of the three and the best research speech.
Yep. Cool. And we're going to award second place to Eddie and third place to William.
All right, thank you everybody so much for coming today. We will have the certificate as well as the Amazon gift card emailed to Lucas. So look out for your inbox in the next few days to see when it comes in. But I thought all of the speeches were extremely interesting to listen to and just to hear about the different topics. I know this week, this competition's speech topics were slightly different than before because we used to have free speech. This time we limited it to 5 choices, but it was still very interesting to see your different thought process on each of these topics. Yes, Teresa.
So since I was the only one who wrote a debate, does that mean I technically won?
Sorry, I cannot see who is talking.
Teresa was talking. Yeah. So yeah, technically you won, but because there wasn't a lead debate.
Okay, yes. I think you signed up with Eddie, but Eddie signed up as a speaker.
But we both wrote our debates though.
Okay. Yes. Well, then you are by default the winner. Or what we can do, you could do a spar debate.
Okay, so like us against each other.
Yes.
Okay. Do you want to do that?
Eddie.
Sure.
Okay. I mean, then we can have Kevin has a lot of debate experience. Kevin and Teresa can oversee the debate as well. And basically, hold on, sorry, let me unshare my screen. But yes, so we can flip a coin. All right, Teresa, heads or tails?
Tails.
Siri, flip a coin. Heads. Eddie, would you like to go first or sorry, not would you like to go first? Would you, sorry, wait, what is it again? Kevin, can you do this?
You want? Yeah, what side do you want, pro or con?
Pro.
All right, and your opponent, Teresa, do you want to go first or second?
I have con, and I guess he could go first.
Okay, so Eddie will go first and you'll go second?
Okay, yeah, like that.
All right, cool.
If you two could both turn on your cameras. Great, okay. Kevin will oversee the structure. Since it's a SPAR debate and not a public forum, the format will be slightly different, but he will lead as well for that. But Eddie, whenever you're ready.
Yes, religious beliefs do benefit society. Many religions stand by not doing bad things and give people good ideals. It also will let people connect with others about things they believe in. According to NAMI.org, religion gives people something to believe in and provides a sense of structure and typically offers a group of people to connect over similar beliefs. These pros can have a large positive impact on mental health, and research suggests that religiosity reduces suicide rates, alcoholism, and drug use. Religious benefits help mental health by encouraging meditation and self-reflection. It can make people feel connected to others, nature, or art. People believing in religions can help make them communicate with other believers and can create a sense of belonging to that group. Some religions give extra holidays so that people can, in that certain religion, can celebrate or just relax for a while. It teaches not only kids, but people of all ages the importance of doing the right thing, as well as compassion, forgiveness, and gratitude. Religion really does change people in a positive way, and one way we could prove this is by looking at the charity data. According to Philanthropy, 62% of religious households give to charity compared to the 46% of unafflicted households that donate to charity. Church givers between the age 55 and 65 donate more than any other age group, donating 32%, a traditional 10% of their income, to the church, according to bancopayments.com.
All right, so now, Eddie, are you done?
I forgot to read the conclusion.
All right.
Religion really does benefit society, so it usually helps the community they're a part of more than harm it. Religions and people in religions just generally become better people by worshiping their god or gods, and can even make friends and be a part of a group in that way. In conclusion, religion significantly helps society, and in recent years, they have almost never caused big trouble for communities.
All right, so now, Teresa, your turn.
Okay. Religious beliefs do not benefit society because they discriminate, cause mental health problems, and is pretty useless. www.answers.com states that religion serves no purpose because good deeds and good health can be accomplished in other ways. According to socialarchon.com, people start hating themselves after they believe that they have failed to complete what God orders them to do. Some religions will prevent them from committing suicide, but that also means that their life will feel like a living hell. www.forbes.com says that people who follow religion suffer from mental health issues a lot more because of the stress it creates. People stress about this because of the belief that God is punishing or ignoring one of them, which leads to a bad quality life. Also, according to socialarchon.com, again, people which choose to follow others' footsteps in life instead of creating their own, which leads to conformity. Conformity does not allow us to be ourselves, which will not allow some people to feel pure joy, which will also lead to a bad quality of life. Religion discriminates against people too. According to Elon University, they oppose to the LGBTQ community and limit women's rights. People might say that religion contributes to one's cultural identity, but this could cause war. This happens when people believe that someone committed a sin, as stated by www.tutorialspoint.com. Although religion adds diverse to the country, people who are following the religion cannot be diverse. They must all follow the same set of rules as stated by www.religiousforums.com. This limits their options and prevents them from being different. Instead, they are more of a invisible copy and paste. Bonding together is something which we could do alone too. If you have social problems, you can get help. Having value in life is something any person could enjoy too. They may need a little help, but that's why therapists exist. Religion is not necessary for these little things. To summarize all of this up, religion does not benefit society because it is not necessary, bad for mental health, and discriminates people. The other side might say it could contribute to one identity, be diverse, and allow people to do good deeds for the world, but these things could be done without religion or hurt society. With all these reasons, I believe that religion is not beneficial to society. That's all.
Okay, so now there will be 3 minutes in which Eddie and Teresa can ask each other questions. Are you ready? Eddie? All right, Teresa, are you ready?
Yeah.
All right, then time starts now.
What if God is punishing them? wouldn't that make them think back to why God is punishing them, which shows they're reflecting on their life?
Okay, so that would make them reflect, but in like in people's eyes, sometimes they can be so direct with wanting to be the correct way that they just end up feeling like they've like completely lost it all and cannot be helped, because God is like really, really powerful, and sometimes it could be a bit hard for people to like think that they can redo their actions and stuff like that.
But therapists usually cost money, but religion probably costs less than therapy, right? If you wanted to get a therapist, then that would cost more money than just joining a religion to feel a part of something.
A friend also helps. So is it my turn to ask questions now? Okay.
Teresa, go ahead.
Okay, so like, how do you know that people will reflect on their actions? And like, because some people might not.
Well, based on what you were saying, if people were saying God was punishing them, right? Then wouldn't that make them think why they were being punished? Like they wouldn't think God was punishing them for no reason.
Good point.
Teresa, if you have no further question, Eddie, you can continue with your question.
I don't think I have any more questions. Just that one.
Eddie, you can continue to ask questions, or if you don't, you can answer.
I think that's about it. I don't have much more.
All right, questions now. So Eddie, this is your rebuttal. You have 4 minutes. Time starts now.
Okay. Well, if people think they fail God and it puts pressure on them if they do so, this might not all be a bad thing. Because if they have the pressure of not failing God all the time, they will do good things, and so they won't fail God in the first place. But while it's a tough way of doing so for some, but in general, it still makes them a better person. And this was based on what I was saying before. If God was punishing them, it has to make them think back to why God was punishing them. So this shows that they're reflecting back to their wrongs and probably trying to make them right so their God would forgive them for it. It definitely helps to reflect back on your bad choices, and even better to try those wrongs for the better. So this might help lots of people. And while war does happen sometimes because of religion has happened for a very long time. So we can't expect them to all be peaceful all the time. In fact, most religions are known for being peacemakers, but even the kindest person can't make the right choices every second of their life. So religions having wars should be very understandable.
Okay, so although people can reflect on their actions and stuff like that, while they're reflecting on their actions during that time being, that will still affect their mental health and would lead to bad quality of life before they switch back to good quality of life. So, but without religion at all, they could probably skip that area for bad quality of life, and they could reflect without religion. Like maybe if someone tells them that, they can reflect on by themselves, and it's not necessary. And as for war, if religion didn't exist, then we wouldn't have to create even more war. Not like, although they are peacemakers, war still happens, and war is a really bad thing, which can affect the entire planet. I mean, the entire world. So, yeah, religion could causes more harm than more good.
All right. We have a second crossword. Do you guys have questions ready? Okay, so I'll take that a no. So we will just continue directly to our summary, which is 3 minutes for both. Eddie, you can go first.
Wait, what do I do? I didn't hear you.
Yeah, this is your summary, and in your summary, you basically talk about everything that your opponent said and everything that you said, and why I should vote for you as the judge.
Oh.
Yep.
So religion does benefit society. Like it makes people feel like they're a part of a group and can help them like be stable mentally without having a therapist, which costs money, like Ann said in her debate. And also it's proved to be reduce suicide rates, alcoholism, and drug use. And it does start wars, but not a lot. And it has happened for like basically eternity. So can't be good for the whole time.
All right, Teresa, your turn.
So, although religion might make people feel included, be less expensive, and stuff, and reduce suicide rates and stuff like that. Religion can affect mental health while people are reflecting on how they should fit in with the group. It could also, and also, although wars haven't happened in a long time, they could still happen, and that, like, although it doesn't happen that much, it still happens, and it's not good. It's like really unnecessary, and religion is also expensive in another way because because you have to like buy all of these buy all of like buy extra cloth and stuff like that to cover yourself sometimes, and it also discriminates against people, which like it could make people outside of that religion feel bad for themselves, which is why religion is bad and is unnecessary to society.
All right. Eddie, why are you raising your hand?
So she said it was unnecessary. So if
The summaries are over, so that means that there are no more rebuttals.
Yeah, this is the. Let me this is the final focus, and in the final focus, you basically just explain to me why your argument matters. Yeah,
No.
and again, tell me why you think you should win the debate. However, realize and focus on not only why you win the debate, but why your opponent doesn't win the debate, and say both instead of only saying one of the two. All right. There you can start. Hello?
I went to get my charger.
All right, no problem. Take your time.
I think I'm done.
You're just done? Okay.
Yeah.
So, you can go ahead with your final focus.
Uh, so, are we done? Or are we?
No, Teresa has her final
Okay.
focus. Yeah.
So,
I still have to what?
You have a final focus speech, and basically in the speech, you just go for your like final arguments and say why you win the debate and why your opponent loses. So basically, it's just the last speech.
I didn't do that.
We didn't really write. I didn't really write that because it's not part of it.
Yeah,
It's not.
it's not something that you write. You don't read off of this.
Okay.
Yeah.
So religion should be banned because it's really unnecessary since following specific diets and specific rules could impact your life a lot, and it could make you feel bad about yourself in the process of you trying to figure out why you did something wrong when you didn't really do something wrong. And it also can make people outside of the religion feel bad about themselves, and could, even though not very often, could start unnecessary war over like something really, really small, but only because it goes against their religion does it like start something and impacts the entire world, which slows down economy and stuff like that. So that's why religion is not beneficial to society.
Okay. Cool. Great job, Teresa, and great job, Eddie, but he's not here. Now he's here. All right. So again, let me look over my notes, and I'll come back in a sec.
Okay, yeah, I'll assign you to a breakout room again. Okay. And in the meantime, I'll put the QR code back up again. So please feel free to fill out our survey, give us any feedback that you may have, or comments, concerns, questions, anything related to ISSDA that you want to know more about or you think that we could improve on.
All right, we're back.
Okay. Then whenever you're ready, you can give feedback to both contestants.
Okay.
Sweet.
So
Teresa, you. All right.
yeah, I'll go first. So I'll start off first with Eddie because he was the pro speaker. So I really liked your ideas in your speech. Your speech was really interesting. How, when you have a religion, you try your best to follow God and do the right thing. Majority of religious families are the ones who donate to charity the most. That was great. You had so many great arguments. You even said that so much about, meditation, like all these great arguments, but they were never extended. I never heard them again. You just like kind of brought them up, and I'm not going to talk about it anymore. But then I might like bring it up like at my end. Like it was just like it was not consistent. You didn't really like extend them through. They were just kind of left alone, and that kind of was a pattern. You just didn't respond to things as well. So not only did you drop some of your arguments, you like dropped some of theirs. So because Teresa had like a bunch of arguments on her side. She talked about conformity and how if you follow a religion, you have to be like everyone else, you lose individuality. Dropped. There was no response. She talked about LGBTQ and women's rights being decreasing. That was dropped, no response. So there's a lot of things that was dropped. Her argument on how religion is just unnecessary, that was completely dropped. So Teresa, I would have pounced on that. Judge, my opponent has completely conceded to these arguments. Thus, I win today's debate because blah, 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 blah. Like, I would have just pounced on that. Like, they dropped all my arguments. Thus, I practically win. Like, I just wish there was more, like, so much more could have been said. And so much was, like, completely eliminated and just not talked about at all. And, like, so much, it could have been better. And I think what you guys need to work on is the rebuttal speech and, like, the ending speeches because you guys are great at reading off papers and just reading your case, but you guys need to work on like the technical skills, like the skill set, like for rebuttal, respond to the arguments. Like my opponent said in their first point, blah, 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 blah. This is not true because blah, 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 blah. And then now they said in their second point, like responding to it because Eddie, you dropped it. And Teresa, although you respond to some, a lot of it was dropped as well. So work on like responding to the arguments and responding to them well. And for the final speeches, it felt like you're just restating arguments because I don't know what to say. You should say your arguments that you think are going to win the debate. And when you say those arguments, don't just say the name of the arguments, explain them. Explain why they're better than your opponents and why it matters and why the judge should vote on it. And the final focus is all about why you win and your opponent loses. I didn't hear the word we win or they conceded or, our argument matters more. I didn't hear any of that. It was just restating again. So I just would have preferred more of that language. Like, Judge, we have won today's debate because our impact on war is far more bigger than their impact on mental health. Would you rather have blah, blah, blah amount of people die or blah, blah, blah? Like, I just wish there was more weighing so the decision could be easier because it was like neck to neck, you guys making the same mistakes. If someone was like, this is why we win the debate or this is why the opponent loses, that would have been better. Like, Judge, I won today's debate because my opponent practically dropped my entire case and all my arguments still stand. But even if my opponent attacked my arguments are still better than theirs because blah, 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 blah. Religion saves more lives, whatever. When you donate to charity, you're giving to a good cause, and those good causes, help the whole entire world, promote great causes, saving lives. That's a far bigger impact on terms of scope. Like, I wish there was more like why I win and more explaining rather than just stating. So a lot of debate skills weren't there. But for being only in an elementary school, that's like really great. You just need to work on the debate skills. So I think you guys did a really, really good job. You just have a lot of areas for improvement, definitely. So yeah, that's my feedback.
Okay. So a lot of my feedback is going to be very similar to Teresa's because, as you know, debate isn't speech. It's not just about stating your own arguments. It's about interacting with your opponent's argument. It's about telling your judge why your arguments are better than your opponent's argument. And the way you do that is through rebuttal, where you say, Judge, realize that my opponent isn't, my opponent's argument isn't true, or my opponent's argument doesn't make sense because of blah, blah, blah. You have to tell me what you're doing right, what you're doing better than your opponent, so that I can vote for you. Because right now, from what I heard from this debate, Eddie has a lot of good points, Teresa has a lot of good points, but I don't know who to vote for because I don't know whose points are better. All I'm hearing is points, points, and points. I'm not hearing points that are better than other points, and you have to do that in debate. That is the ultimate goal in debate, to prove to your judge that your points are better, which is why you have to learn rebuttal, because with rebuttal, you can tell your judge that your opponent's arguments are not as good as yours, which means that your arguments are better than your opponent's, and that's how you win. So yeah, I would suggest doing some more rebuttal and just interacting with your opponent's points. It's really not as hard as you think. All you do is say that, Judge, realize that, for example, if I'm Eddie and Teresa's talking about wars, I can say that, Judge, realize that my opponent is talking about more wars being created because of religion. However, Judge, realize that there are a multitude of wars. There are millions of wars in our history, and religion has only caused about, I don't know the exact statistic, but about 1% of them, which means that, Judge, we can really neglect this. And the thing that we care about the most is actually the decrease in suicide rates. Because in the future, if more people are converted and if more people are religious, we are technically saving their lives because they're no longer going to take their own lives, which means that, Judge, in the long run, religion is going to save more people than religion kills. If you say that, Eddie, then this will be a 100% win for you. But guess what? You didn't say that. So you just have to make sure that you can tell your judge why your argument is better than your opponent's. Okay. And yeah, so if you want to learn how to do that, join our Discord and check out our lecture on rebuttal, which will be given by me. All right. Teresa, you want to do the honors again and review the winner?
So after like reflecting and looking at our debate flows, we decided that the winner was Eddie. Good job.
Good job, Eddie. Okay. Any questions for us? Okay. Then.
Okay, yeah. If there are no questions, then thank you all for coming. Thank you for attending. I also really thought that debate was really interesting. It was great to see the pros and cons of your thought processes through basically religion's effect on society. Okay. But yes, Eddie, I will also email you for the certificate, or I'm not sure, it's not necessarily will be me, but somebody will email you regarding your certificate and your prize money. So keep a lookout for that. Make sure you keep an eye on your inbox as well. But again, thank you all for coming. Everybody who participated and everybody who just came to watch. But yes, it was very enjoyable to hear everybody's speeches and debates.
It was so great judging you guys. Thank you for coming.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Oh, yeah. Rosalind, did you send out the feedback from it?
Yes, I did while you guys were in the breakout rooms.
Yeah.
But I can put it in the chat again as well. So basically, while they were in the breakout rooms, I did send out, if you guys are paying attention, I shared my screen and I sent a QR code. I had a QR code up for you guys to scan. But if you guys were unable to scan it, then I will put the link in the chat as well. It is our feedback form for anybody interested in filling it out. Basically, it's just for any comments, questions, concerns about ISSDA, this specific competition and all of our events in general. So you can save that link if you want, or you can click on it directly and fill it out right now.
Yeah, and I see that there are also a lot of participants in our meeting that's not people who are competing. So I will just assume that those are parents. And if you guys have any questions, just feel free to ask me or Aslan.
Yes. So if you have any questions, direct questions that you would like to ask us, you can ask on the survey form, or you can stay after this to ask anybody from the executive board. But other than that, thank you again for coming. The competition is now officially over. But yes, we will stay afterwards for any questions or comments.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't access the form? I'm not sure why. It says accepting responses. So I don't know why that's it says it needs permission. Okay.
That's
Um,
peculiar.
can any of the executives access the form?
Let me check. I actually can't.
You can't?
Nope.
Okay, that's very strange.
It says that it can only be viewed by people in the organization. So yeah, I think that's why.
Oh, okay. I think that is because I used the new email to make it. Okay, well then I can't fix that right now and I'm unable to create a new one. So unfortunately, we will not be able to have that. But if you join our Discord server, let me link the Discord in the chat. If you join our Discord server, it'll be up in announcements by tonight. I'll make sure of it. Let me find. Okay, so I've put our Discord server join link in the chat for any of you guys who are interested in joining. I have also, let me also put our email in it. If you do not have Discord or are unable to access it, then yeah, if you are unable to access it, then you can email us as well. So I put our email in it as well. I don't know what you mean by invalid. Yeah, the Discord server link works as far as I can tell. But yeah, you can join the Discord server or you can email us. Either one works. I will keep an eye on the ISSDA inbox, and then all of the executives are in the Discord chat. So if you have any questions, you can ask there as well.
Yeah.
How will you know who is who? On the feedback form, it's anonymous if you choose to, or if you wanted to not be anonymous, you can leave a name and email. Otherwise, you don't have to leave, we can't tell who is who on purpose. Okay.
All right. Any other questions for us right now? Yes, you always have permission to change your name in the server. And you don't have to type your questions. You can just unmute yourself and ask it.
Oh, Michelle might have changed the permissions. We can do that. If you can text in general or message in one of the channels, and we can figure that out. Okay, any other questions? All right, then if not, I hope all of you have a great afternoon or night, depending on your time zone. Thank you all for coming once again. It was really fun to listen to everybody's presentations or speeches and debates. But yes.
See you. Coco and Albert, I see that you guys are still in the meeting. So, are there like any questions that you would want to ask privately?